Good bless this Saturday, August the 10th, 2024. It's about 12:54 p.m. in the afternoon. I greet all human beings all around the world. All around the world. All around the world. All around the world. All around the world, with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest or the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or produce. That's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom to protest, freedom to gather, freedom to associate, as long as you do it in a peaceful manner. Those that's on parole or probation, it all depends who you are, where you at. Some people have privileges and some don't. But you may want to ask, if you're on probation or parole, or if you're a felon, you want to ask the local law enforcement officials or your probation or parole officer, is it legal for you to gather together or protest with somebody? Remember to do it in a peaceful manner. You also have a right when you stop by the police or law enforcement, a Fifth Amendment. Look at the case, I believe it's Miranda versus the state of Arizona. You got a right to remain silent. A lot of y'all that's going to jail and getting convicted is because you running your mouth too much. But what I want to talk about this evening, this afternoon, I want to talk about these police brutality cases, murders and things like that. And if the shoe fit, wear it, because I want y'all, my followers, and those that believe in the things that I produce, all police, all white police, and all police is not corrupt. Because if they was, we wouldn't be getting arrested for some of these ones that do some of the things that they do that they shouldn't do. I want to talk about a few cases, y'all, and then I want y'all to look at the videos. One recent one in Jonesboro, Arkansas. For those of you who said that I'm racist, I'm speaking up for some people that called me from Arkansas, the Razorback state, asking me, would I come out of retirement temporarily to show what this police did in Jonesboro, Arkansas, to an individual that he had under arrest. And so happened, it's caught on tape in his car. The actions of this particular police, the discipline was immediately. Well, not immediately, but it didn't take 48 hours. You would see this police on tape beating, elbowing, slamming this individual's head into the door in the back of the police car. This was on August the 8th, Thursday, August the 8th, 2024. On August the 9th, Friday, the very next day, this man was fired. Soon, if he's not already, he should be arrested for what he did to this individual. The individual that shot Sandra Matsey in Springfield, Illinois, it took protesters and people reaching the right politicians to get this sheriff out of office, even though they did arrest and charge the individual that shot Sandra Matsey in the face because she had a boiling pot of water that he asked her, demanded her to take off the stove. But the governor, Priester, in Illinois, he demanded that the sheriff resign. The sheriff said he wasn't, but that sheriff resigned from pressure. You see what I'm saying? Pressure got this particular officer fired in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And there's many other cases that ain't nothing being done like in Charleston, Missouri. I want y'all to watch these videos real close after you watch the one in the coward in Arkansas with a badge. But he beating up on a white guy. I don't look at color when police or anybody else do people wrong. You see what I'm saying? The NAACP should be speaking up about that too, because the man is a human being, whether he locked up or not. We seen the one in Chicago, Illinois, when the police in the Cabrini Green was left beating the guy with his radio and then putting a gun in his face, saying, "I'm going to shoot you." But I want you to look here in Charleston, Missouri, and tell me why Captain Barry Morgan for the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department, why is he still why is he still hired and working as a captain at the Sheriff Department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County? Now, the video that you see on this one here, this is the man that you gonna see that he tased in East Prairie, Missouri. And after he told the sheriff that was with him that said, "I'm gonna break your arm," and he had the little sergeant with him, Brent Farrell running again, unopposed, for the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff. But the sheriff is the one said, "If you don't turn over on your stomach, I'm going to break your arm." But the one that you couldn't see was Captain Barry Morgan that was tasing this guy. This guy didn't do nothing wrong. He was on his property. And they just told him to turn around. You can't just tell nobody to turn around on their own property unless you tell them why. But he tased him first. The man was down. He tased him again, put the taser in the man's, I think, neck, in his body. Then he slapped the warrant. The man said, what is this for? He slapped the warrant in his chest like this here. He said, "You've been served, MF." That's just the one, the guy that you see bruised up in the jail. That's what happened to him once he got in Barry Morgan's truck. In the video, his camera was turned off. But the one that you see on the news when the Illinois State Police arrested Barry Morgan, that was a whole separate case, y'all. A whole separate case. The one that he tased this guy and then beat him up in the truck and nothing was done at all. No reports at all. They end up charging this guy for false report. How can it be a false report and you showing him that he tasing him unnecessary? But the other one that the Illinois State Police locked Barry Morgan up for is when somebody stole a truck. Barry Morgan had a suspect in the front of his truck in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, and he got out of his truck going minding some more officers' business, and then the guy that was in the truck did what any other individual would do when you got a ignorant, arrogant, a self-centered captain that get out and leave you in there and you know you're going to jail anyway. He stole the truck, embarrassed the captain. The captain took him on a chase through Illinois, all the way up to Johnson County, Vienna, about 45 minutes to an hour away from Charleston, Missouri. But guess what Barry Morgan did? Because Johnson County, Illinois, Alexander County Sheriff Department, they was chasing him. Then the State Highway Patrol was chasing him. He got out the car running. But while he was in the car, Barry Morgan was shooting out the car at him. Now imagine if the Illinois State Police wasn't there. Brent Farrell said that they did an internal investigation. In other words, the Mississippi County, Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department claimed that they did an internal investigation. But the Illinois State Police Department criminal division supersedes the Sheriff Department, and then the Illinois State Appellate Prosecuting Attorney supersedes Brent Farrell's investigation, and they charged him with official misconduct and battery steaming on a suspect. But they let Barry Morgan plead guilty to the lesser charge of just battery on the suspect and dropped the official misconduct. Why was it dropped? He shot his evidence. He was shooting out the window. That was a crime. But I want y'all to look and see and ask yourself, why ain't these the same thing that happened in Illinois, that sheriff had to resign, that police that shot Sandra Mancy in the face and killed her, the one that beat this individual up in Jonesboro, Arkansas, they was fired. And they looking to put charges. Why wasn't no charges filed on Barry Morgan when him and the sheriff was abusing this individual on his own property? Why is Barry Morgan still a sheriff, a captain? Not only that, they got another one on there. The Missouri Supreme Appellate Court judge said that John Blakely is a person that's not to be, his testimony is the least to be accepted or believed. He falsified and paid individuals to say that David Robinson, look up the case, David Robinson versus the state of Missouri. He paid individuals to say that David Robinson murdered Sheila Box back in 2000 or 2001. David Robinson got life in prison, but 18 years later, a judge overturned it and said that John Blakely is not to be trusted. But guess where he worked at? The same place with Brent Farrow. I'm going to show you something else now. Brent Farrow's wife, I don't have nothing against her, but she was just in the newspaper with some other individuals. And Rodney Jones with him, he the only black there, a sellout black, a sellout Negro, a house Negro. Him and Leslie Gillespie. He in the newspaper with them getting this big money. This big money that every 3 years it be so much money put into this, and so they made their own board, the IDA, International Development Account. It's $93 million in there, and that expires in 2025 next year. So another 3 years will come up for 2028. But I want y'all to see Brenton Farrow, his family, and the other people. That's why these individuals can get away with beating up people, killing people, as far as the law enforcement officials. Y'all pay good attention to this here. Peace be still.
Sitting on the side of me and they're trying to send me back to the jail where they're going to let me die.
Developing tonight, a Jonesboro police officer fired after he was caught on camera in his squad car beating an inmate. Tonight, we are hearing from both the Jonesboro mayor and police chief following the termination of Officer Joseph Harris. Mayor Harold Copenhaver released this statement saying, quote, "I've watched the video and I'm appalled because the officer's actions in that video are inexcusable. I'm upset and disappointed because we expect more from our officers. I fully support Chief Elliott's prompt action to terminate the officer. This kind of behavior will not be tolerated and merits investigation." The Jonesboro Police Department released the footage shortly before 5 p.m. today in the name of transparency. I spoke with Police Chief Rick Elliott about the incident. We do want to warn you, some of the contents of this video are graphic, so viewer discretion is advised.
Sir, will you please listen to me? I have got fentanyl inside of me. Last night, I swallowed, it's in aluminum foil, wrapped up. It's in a baggie, it's in aluminum foil, individually wrapped up in aluminum foil.
After being picked up by Jonesboro police, Billy Lee Corum repeatedly stated that he had fentanyl in his system and that he needed to go back to the hospital from which he just escaped.
On my daughter's life, I've got one daughter, she's 17 years old, and she hates my guts. On my daughter's life, and the only thing I love in this world is her. I've got fentanyl inside of me. On this camera, I've got fentanyl inside of me.
As shown in the video, Officer Harris repeatedly disregarded Corum, and after a few minutes, Corum then wiggles his way around in the back seat and finds a way to get his seatbelt wrapped around his neck, attempting to choke himself. What happens when Harris stops the vehicle is what gets him in trouble.
Idiot.
Harris is seen repeatedly hitting Corum with his fists and elbows, only unwrapping the seatbelt from Corum's neck after the constant blows to the head. Harris then shuts the door, hitting Corum in the head once again. And while another officer checks to see if Corum is okay, Harris decides to come back. He wakes Corum up with his baton, this time shutting the door with Corum's head smashed in between the door and the seat, only being dislodged later while being thrown around in the back seat.
Thoroughly disgusted, appalled, and it's just like, what in the world are you thinking here?
Chief Elliott said they got the complaint from Internal Affairs around lunch and quickly made the decision, only waiting to release the footage so that the department could notify Joseph Harris of his termination.
There was no pausing and stopping to think on what to do next. The obvious reason was this officer will be terminated.
His immediate reaction to seeing the footage?
He ended up delivering fist blows. I thought, this is the wrong response. The response is get the man aid.
Elliott went on to say that this brings a bad name to the Jonesboro Police Department, but he wants everyone to know that it was dealt with immediately.
This officer had conduct that was unbecoming, unprofessional, and it was conduct that I'm not going to tolerate, and the consequence is he was terminated.
Chief Elliott told us that the information surrounding this incident has been turned over to prosecuting attorney Sonia Haygood for review. He also told us that he has been communicating with the FBI and that he was told that the FBI office in Little Rock has opened a case into the incident.
Friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me or anything I say, do, or nor produce. I still greet you with that same universal greetings. You have a first, 14th, and so many other amendments to the United States Constitution to think and see, do, and say as you please, as long as you do it in a legal manner. This young man here is a victim of Barry Morgan, Captain Barry Morgan from the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department. This is one of the pictures of him after Barry Morgan turned off the camera and put him in his truck. I'm going to show you another one right quick. My sources told RRR, Raymond Research and Recovery, the Underground Railroad, that Barry Morgan and a couple of other officers beat him up like this here. And I believe it when you see what the Illinois State Police arrested him for. One of their trucks from the Mississippi County Sheriff Department here in Charleston, Missouri, was stolen by a suspect that was in custody. Ain't that something to show you what type of individual he is? We know Barry Morgan is a certified, bona fide coward, because when his co-worker, deputy, he might be a captain now, but Deputy David, let me see what his last name is. Well, Biscuit, we call him Biscuit. I got to remember his name. But when he was shot by a white drug dealer in Wyatt, Missouri, Barry Morgan and some of the other sheriff department personnel was there. They left David Watkins left him there for dead. He was able to shoot the suspect himself. That's the only way he survived. The Missouri Attorney General, the Missouri governor came down, or the Attorney General came down and honored Watkins for his being a hero. But this is what Barry Morgan do. And then look what he did here in the black community on September the 3rd, 2023, on the black side of town during the Labor Day weekend. Look how he was threatening the black young people, freshmen, on the basketball court enjoying themselves. and you can see him with the mace shaking it up. And they said he told them if they don't get off that basketball court, he was going to mace they effing A. When you listen to the way he was talking to this guy, when him and the sheriff and one of the sergeants from the sheriff department here was allegedly saying that they was serving him a warrant, but we found out he didn't even have a warrant. But you see how he was tasing this guy even when he was down. But this was Barry Morgan is a time bomb in Charleston, Missouri, especially in the black community. The day that you see him on that basketball court and see Robert Hearns terrorizing the black people when they trying to celebrate the Labor Day weekend, Robert Hearns had his wife out there while he was allegedly on duty, unplugging these people's sound system speakers, and Barry Morgan had his girlfriend, who's a clerk for Robert Hearns at the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. She was convicted of DUI. Barry's convicted of battery on a suspect. But this is what, he's a time bomb running around on probation. If any of y'all see him or Robert Hearns or any of the crooked police or sheriff deputies doing something that you feel is violating your constitutional rights, let me know. Take a video, call me, and I will come on the scene free of charge. We know the NAACP is working hand in hand with these people. We know Lester Gillespie is because they let him get away. Did I show you both of them pictures? I want to show you again. This is in the detention center. When his visitors came, they took pictures. You see, but it's hard to get a crime put on police and people like Lester Gillespie because of the fact Susanna Wesley Learning Center is ran by all these people. Robert Hearns used to work for Susanna Wesley. The judge, Barb Barker, used to work for Susanna Wesley. Lester Gillespie, most of these black and white preachers, and the present prosecuting attorney, Clara Poley. These people are not only white supremacists. The blacks is hooked up with the white supremacists, but they are a danger to the black community, let alone some of the white community that don't conform to what they want you to do. Peace be still.
Missouri Sheriff's Deputy.
Mississippi County Sheriff Britton Farrell says he stands by his captain, Barry Morgan, who faces charges of battery and official misconduct.
Here's a look at video from last September that shows Sheriff Farrell with Captain Morgan standing to his left. According to Illinois State Police, the state appellate prosecutor's office out of Springfield filed the charges against Morgan. They come nearly 6 months after the arrest of a man who allegedly stole a sheriff's department truck and drove it from Charleston into Illinois before being stopped in Johnson County. All state police will say is that Morgan faces the 2 counts for actions relating to that man's arrest. Sheriff Farrell, meantime, tells me their internal investigation found Morgan did nothing wrong during that arrest. Farrell goes on to say that Morgan, quote, has served and is serving Mississippi County and our profession admirably. Farrell also says it's unfortunate investigators would rather charge a fellow officer than consequence.
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, look careful. Hands behind your back.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
I'm down, motherfucker.
Hands behind your back.
I ain't got anything.
Turn around. Roll over
on your belly.
Roll over.
I'm gonna break your arm.
Roll over.
Roll over. Thank you. Come out there like that. Now we can talk to you. Stand up.
You've been served, motherfucker.
Stand up. Thank you.
Can I get my cigarettes?
No.
How have I been
really
served?
You really gonna come out here and give us attitude and then you want to smoke?
How have I been served?
Yeah,
Been
take
served.
you with it.
Right there. Been served.
From who? From who?
From us.
Ex parte, buddy. And you got a warrant, so you're coming with us.
Ain't got any warrants?
Search is for public.
No, I ain't got any warrants, man.
We're just telling you you do.
You do have a warrant. Let's go. I'll transport them. That's fine. Come on.
Can I get my phone?
Nope. You don't need it. Let me unlock my door.
No.
Come on. Jump on in.
John Blakely, y'all. Wednesday the 31st, 2024. How you doing, John Blakely?
Sir, how are you, sir?
All righty. Got a couple of cases today. That's the vehicle that he drive right there, John Blakely. This is Wednesday, I believe it's the 31st, in front of the Mississippi County Courthouse here. That's John Blakely, the one who a judge said his testimony is not to be believed. Back in 2000 and I believe 18, a case was overturned, David Robertson. I'm going to show y'all what the judge said about this man, but yet he's working for the Mississippi County Sheriff Department here in Charleston, Missouri. This is the vehicle he be driving most times. I want y'all to take a real good look at it. This man is considered a criminal, according to a appellate court judge. But yet they still let him go in the courtroom and testify on cases. Y'all take a good look at this here. I'm gonna show y'all where you work at in a minute.
Gun violence is really hurting our community in such a way in which everybody is impacted by it.
Community leaders are sounding off after 6 people are shot in Charleston overnight. Good afternoon, everyone. Ahmad Latham spent the day in Charleston to get a community reaction to that shooting. He's live in the studio now with more.
Jeff, I talked to a couple community leaders earlier this afternoon. They tell me it seems like violent crime is rising in the region and they are looking to find solutions on combating this issue.
I think we are at a place now where we have to address those issues.
Lester Gillespie runs Fresh Start Self-Improvement Center in Charleston. Early Monday morning, 6 people were shot in a parking lot near the C.F. Bowden Civic Center. Gillespie offers programs for local kids at that center. He says incidents like this are frustrating.
We have to do a better job in finding protective factors so that we can address the risk. And then we have to tackle it from a standpoint of getting families involved, having those conversations.
If you can stop it now, we can keep it under control.
Robert Hearns is the chief of Charleston's Department of Public Safety. He says at night the center's parking lot, known as The Rocks, turns into an adult get-together.
It's just an area where people hang out at night, and people should be able to, you should be able to hang out and not worry about getting shot.
Hearns says working hand in hand with other agencies makes a difference.
And try to assist each other and give out information so that we can get these people in jail so they can reduce the violence.
And Gillespie's goal is to find solutions in protecting the community from gun violence.
We as a community have to come up with ways in which we can protect our youth, our senior citizens, our adults.
The 6 people shot received non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still searching for suspects. Chief Hearns tells me they are working with other local agencies as their search continues. In the studio, Ahmad Latham.
About the report of on May the 17th, 2024, that Officer Higgins wrote concerning Jamie O'Connor threatening me. I know you signed on that, and then they said they couldn't find him. In 28 days, me and somebody found him, and then Higgins talked to him, and I see that you closed the case. Can I ask why
Do you want to sign a complaint?
No, I'm asking you why did you close the case?
I'd have to go back and review it. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, he had found him Well, we found them in Higgins, and then I looked on the thing, and Higgins asked him a question, and he lied and said he didn't make the threats. Okay. So now I just want to know why was it closed?
I just every time it's to be on YouTube.
No, I'm just saying I want to know why it's closed. I just left out the police station here, asking Robert Hearns why would he sign off on a report when Jamie Connor threatened me. And did you hear him say he don't know? I'm gonna go back to the house and let y'all see the report. But I made a report. I'm gonna talk to you in a minute. Now, did y'all pay good attention to all that there? Did y'all see how Barry Morgan, ain't no way he should be a law enforcement official? Ain't no way. Why ain't the FBI investigating that? Back in 2017, Josh Hawley, who's a Missouri state representative, another Ku Klux Klan. All you got to do is look at what happened Wednesday, January the 6th, 2021 in Washington, D.C. When you see him got his fists up like this here with Trump and them. Trump had, you know how Trump had his Hitler sign and saying power to those people that was raiding the White House. White supremacists raiding the White House. Didn't want to accept that Donald Trump lost. The Grand Wizard lost. Josh Hawley came down here in 2017 when he was the Missouri State Attorney General and locked up Corey Huxton for some things that he was doing as sheriff in the Charles, Missouri, Mississippi County detention center. But he ain't, even though he a senator now, he ain't sending nobody else down here to see what Brent Farrow is doing, the people that he hired, John Blakely and Barry Morgan, shouldn't be law enforcement officials. Brent Farrow, the governor here, he ain't gonna ask for Brent Farrow to be to resign or to ask Barry Morgan or John Blakely resign, because this individual, a court and DNA have shown that Marcellus Williams, look it up, Marcellus Williams, death row inmate in the state of Missouri, due to be executed September the 26th, 2024. But he had got to stay from another government. Look up and see how the lieutenant governor, the attorney general, and the governor said that he had his trial. And they didn't care back then. The DNA wasn't around, but the DNA said the knife that was in the lady that got killed in St. Louis, Missouri. The fingerprints or DNA wasn't Marcellus Williams. The things was on her clothes, her nails, the blood that was on the ground. None of that was Marcellus. So that shows that he wasn't the killer. But yet a white police killed a black individual on his own property, and a judge said that this police had no probable cause to be on that man's property, shot and killed him. Said he had a gun in his hand, but the evidence showed the gun was on the floor of his truck. Even though whether it was in his hand or not, they said it wasn't in his hand, it was on the floor of the truck, and the man was on his property. There was no probable cause to go on there, but the governor, thank God he ain't running again. He wants to clear this man or stop his sentence and give him a pardon. Ain't that something? But Marcellus Williams, he said, well, he had a jury and the jury convicted him. The state of Missouri, not all of y'all, but we don't have no representatives in White House for the state of Missouri or in Jefferson City. Definitely don't have nothing here. When you got individuals like Rodney Jones and Lester Gillespie, they black. And they can be on all of these committees and ain't doing nothing for the black community. Y'all wake up. Get the FBI to look into what's going on here in Charles, Missouri, Mississippi County, with the Mississippi County Sheriff Department, with the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, with the 33rd Circuit Court here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, with the prosecuting attorney and the city attorney in City Hall, the NAACP, Lester Gillespie's Stellar Consultants, and Lester Gillespie Fresh Start Self-Improvement Center, and anything that Lester Gillespie deal with, and every one of them NAACP members, most of their families is drug dealers or starting chaos in our community, and most of them is criminals themselves. I'm gonna leave, y'all, but y'all look for what's coming. Y'all see that police car? That gonna be the Department of Justice. Y'all see that ambulance? Some of them ain't gonna want to go. They gonna commit suicide because they going to jail. Peace, peace, still. I want y'all to take a good look at the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi counties NAACP list, and you will see why Barry Morgan and John Blakely and Brenton Farrow is still part of that particular sheriff department, and why Brent Farrow is still running it. Let me see, we can find his name somewhere on here as an NAACP member. I know I done passed it. Let me try to take it a little slower. Y'all take a good look here. You see Brenton Farrow there? That's the sheriff, y'all. You think Brenton Farrow give a damn about the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People? There go your board, y'all. Rodney Jones was the president at one time, and then, you know, him and Lester, they just take turns because don't nobody else want to be there. And you see how many members they said they had back then. You actually to be nationally recognized by the national chapter, you have to have at least 50 members. Ain't that something? The town is 5,947 people, 51% black, and you got white people on here they can't even get 50 black people. Ain't that something? You got white people on here. Now, I seen one white guy, if that's his particular name, he's a good man. He's a state trooper now. He was a smart man and left the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. But I want y'all to take a good look at this here, this paper here. You know, they keep Rodney Jones and Lester Gillespie inside of it. You can see this is Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024. Now, you see this here? The county launches a Economic Development Board of Success with Supporters campaign. Now, to the best of my knowledge, this IDA is International a Development Account. And if you look it up now, they put the government puts money in that account nationally, I think every 3 years. The next time it's coming up is, I want y'all to see this house Negro. There he is. You see how he's smiling? Look just like a devil, don't he? Rodney Jones, look at him. He looked just like Satan, don't he? After Michael and Gabriel kicked his ass out of heaven. Now you take a look. I ain't got nothing against these people. Only one white person I know on here, and I ain't never had no problem with it, but I got plenty of problem with her husband, and that's Ann Farrow. If that's Brenton Farrow's wife, I ain't got nothing against her or his kids. They ain't never did nothing to me. But Brent Farrow is a crook, and so is Rodney Jones. I don't know the rest of these. I know the names, but I don't know anything about them. But y'all can see who the board is made of. One Negro, house Negro at that. You know, he couldn't be in the field. The field Negroes would have took him out the game. But you know, if you notice, look at it, Rodney Jones, he's a director. We was just at a meeting talking about the floods over here in on the west side of town. Ain't nobody mentioned the farmers, but Rodney Jones, he don't give a damn what's going on over here. He said, I just want to let it be known that the farmers' land is not making it what's flood over here on the west side. In other words, in the black part of town, he said he know that for a fact because he did the leveling on it. He did the surveying on it, and it was leveled. Look at him again, y'all. He got a trucking company. They let him buy the old electric company. Him and Lester, they own just about every board that you can name here. Both of them is felons. Rodney was convicted of rape. Lester was convicted of voter fraud. But they got plenty of program. But just take a look at this here. This thing here. Now, what is they going to develop and where they going to develop it at? We see they got a T-shirt design. They should have Rodney and Lester name on it. You know, the two #1 house Negroes of the year. No, of the decade, of the century. But y'all take a good look at it. Rodney Jones be on everything. Y'all seen who the NAACP made of. Here it is. Brenton Farrell's wife is the president of this. Brenton Farrell is the sheriff. Rodney Jones and Lester Gillespie is the two house Negro. Rodney Jones give you watermelons in the summer and give you pumpkins in the fall. You see what I'm saying? And then him and Lester Gillespie buying up all this damn property. They ain't doing nothing for the community, the black community that is. This board here, I doubt if anything economically gonna be done here in on the west side of town. You see, they just took them almost 3 decades to fix the basketball court, and that's because I was complaining about it. Rodney Jones or none of them other NAACP members, you don't never see them complain about no civil rights. I just wanted to let y'all see. The federal government need to come down and it gonna take the United States Department of Justice, the criminal division. No, that's the Charleston Police Department. I'm hoping, let's see what's going on. Which way are they going here? Going over the bridge. So it must be something happening on the I-57 northbound. They didn't go over the viaduct, which is Boomland. Let me ride my bike down and check it out. It's my type of work, y'all. Saving lives.